All right, we're back on.
Here we go.
Okay.
But keep it punchy.
Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Game Geek's continuing coverage of the Origins Game Fair 2019. And today we are wrapping up our coverage, and you may notice that my co-host, Marty Cannell from The Week, isn't here.
No.
Nope.
Upgraded.
Yeah,
Or
sure.
downgraded. Depends how you think of it.
Sure, why not? Marty had to leave early this morning, so he has been replaced by Rodney Smith, who's going to be joining me for this intro segment. And also joining me is Uncle Adam from the Tabletop Minions YouTube channel.
An actual upgrade. Here we go.
The actual upgrade. There we go.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, I appreciate it too.
Yeah.
And just for anyone, since we're kind of focused on board games,
Sure.
why don't you kind of share what your Tabletop Minions channel is all about?
Yeah. So, Tabletop Minions is a YouTube channel, but then also just kind of a community as well. And the videos are about getting into tabletop wargaming and the miniatures painting hobby. It's all about. I think there's kind of a misnomer with that hobby that it's very difficult to get into. There's a big, hill to climb.
Mm-hmm. It's intimidating.
And there's a lot of board gamers now that have a lot of miniatures and would like to paint them. But don't necessarily know how, or think, well, I can't, or I can't afford to pay somebody to do it. And a lot of the videos that I make talk about how easy it is to do, how easy it is to get started. You don't want to compare yourself to the pictures you see in the magazines and on the websites with your first stuff, because it's, but we can kind of move along and get that way. So yeah, I talk about getting into wargaming, miniatures, that kind of stuff, and also about getting into painting and the hobby and all that.
I think that's one of the things I've enjoyed about your channel is that you sort of address it from sort of two angles. There's the practical. Here's simple painting tips you can do to get it easier. There's also that psychological barrier that you talk about. That you catch. I could never do that. I could never paint like that.
Yeah.
And the reality is, you find little ways to think about it from a different angle. Don't think about. Maybe you can't paint out of the gate like that, but here's the first step you can do to get yourself a little closer.
Exactly.
Right?
And the motivational stuff is actually like a lot of people really. I get thanked all the time when I'm at conventions like this. I get people all the time who walk up and say thank you. It's really helped me to stay motivated or to get started or to all that kind of stuff, and it's really great. So yeah.
Okay. And we'll get back to the paint in just a minute.
Not a
but you are a man of many talents. Another thing that you're very heavily involved in is this Game4 app specifically for gamers to find other gamers. Mm-hmm. And you have a big announcement related to Gen Con that's coming up?
Yeah, so Game4 is the app for connecting tabletop gamers. It's been out for a little over, not quite a year and a half yet. And it's on Android and iOS, and we also have a web version as well. If you don't have if you just got like a flip phone or whatever, or if you're at work and you're not supposed to be pulling out your phone, you can do a laptop. But anyway, yeah, so it is designed to get gamers to be able to connect to their local stores, to gaming groups, to each other, to conventions. Now we've got convention support in there. And speaking of conventions, starting pretty much, it's technically launched now, but we're going to be announcing it officially kind of next week. We're now partnered with Gen Con. So Gen Con is doing these pop-up Gen Cons this year for the first time, which are basically, if you can't make it to Gen Con, then you go to, I think there's 40 to 45 different stores. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if it's worldwide or if it's just in North America, but you can go to these stores, you can get a Gen Con badge, you can play in a bunch of different types of Gen Con events, plus some of the games that are being launched at Gen Con, you can only get at Gen Con, you'll also be able to get at these stores.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so the partnership is that if you're looking through the app at the beginning of August, you will see Gen Con pop-up events happening, and they will have a special logo that nothing else has, so it really draws the eye, and then you can take a look at that, and then there's more information about there. There's links to the information on the website from them. So they reached out to us and they said, we're doing these pop-ups, we want to be in Game4. And so we worked with them to make it really kind of special and partner with them. So
I had not heard of that. That's actually kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, no, the pop-ups are going to be really cool, and they want. I think in the future they may do them not just during Gen Con, but they might start doing them more times during the year. They want to make it like an actual kind of community kind of event for all kinds of people. But to start, it's for the Gen Can't people, who can't get there. But I think it's a brilliant idea, and it makes a lot of sense.
No, it's really neat.
And it sounds like a very appropriate partnership for this app. And
yeah, no, absolutely, because it helps. We've been reaching out to gamers, to groups and clubs. We've been signing up more stores. Like right now in our store finder in the app, there's 6,500 stores worldwide, which when we launched, we didn't even know there were 6,500 stores in the entire world. But it turns out there are. So it's been all When we launched, it was about 5,800 stores, and through crowdsourcing and people saying, hey, you forgot this store, hey, this store opened up, it's grown and grown and grown.
Nice. And speaking of Gen Con, here at Origins, you've also been really busy here. You've been doing a series of painting tutorials all week at the WizKids table.
I saw
booth.
this. I saw you in action, actually.
Yeah, so tell us about what that was all about.
So Realmsmith TV, which is a Twitch channel, they predominantly work in the RPG space. Jason, who runs that, and I've known each other for a while, and we were at a distributor conference actually in May, and he said, are you going to be going to Origins? And I said, yeah. And last year I was a guest on one of those painting classes. It's in the Vallejo kind of slash WizKids booth. And so this year he said, would you just want to host one every day? Because then I can go and have lunch and get new things and whatever, and all kind of stuff like that. And I said, yeah, that'd be great. So on Thursday, from 1 to 3, we painted a hill giant, and on Friday it was a stone giant, and then yesterday was a triceratops, who I decided was named Bob.
Bob,
Yeah,
Bob the Triceratops.
Yeah.
I walked by and I saw the hill giant that you were painting. It was pretty substantial.
We did not finish the hill giant in 2 hours because he was a big chungus. He was pretty big, and so we worked on skin tones, which a lot of people are kind of nervous about and that kind of stuff. And he had a lot of skin, so it was a really great way to kind of work in that without working on a regular 28 millimeter size kind of smaller model, and that was really helpful. We kind of missed his big giant backpack, which is filled with who knows what. But we worked on his the pants and that kind of stuff,
And people get to go home with the miniature, so they can go work on that when they get back.
Exactly, yeah. And I even said, I kind of gave him some tips for things you could do going forward when you get home.
Right.
2 hours for a regular model, you can do. Most of the models we finished, but that one was kind of big. But I generally take a little bit longer to paint than that in some situations. But yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, were you using just the standard paints, or there's this new Games Workshop has introduced these new contrast paints, where I have seen just plastered everywhere on social media and YouTube about it. So, and I dabble in painting, but I haven't painted seriously since probably early college or so. It's been quite a while. So, what's new about these contrast paints, and what do you think about them?
So the contrast paints are designed to basically bring new painters, which is kind of my wheelhouse, into the hobby, and to bring also maybe painters who are nervous about doing it or they don't feel they're good at it or anything along those lines. They are normally like the folks at GW, when you watch their painting videos, they always tell you 2 thin coats. You want to always put 2 thin coats on there. The slogan to this new paint is 1 thick coat. So you literally put it on 1 thick coat heavy, and it does 3 things. It paints the model, but it's relatively transparent, but not too transparent. But it also then soaks down into the crevices, and then that's where it kind of gives you your darker shadow details.
Kind of like an ink wash built in.
Right, but then on the other hand, because of how thick it is and everything, and the way that it's designed, as long as your primer is a little kind of almost semi-gloss, or at least very smooth and not too rough or dusty, it will then also pull away from the raised parts, so it kind of almost looks like you went through and highlighted the raised parts and then shadowed in the dark parts, and then in the mid parts,
automatically.
So it's 1 coat.
Super excited about this paint when they first announced it, because in addition to being easier, it's going to be a little faster too. Instead of doing like 3 different layers, you're doing this. I mean, I think I've built it up a little too much in my mind. Like I'm kind of imagining I'll dip my miniature into this stuff, I'll pull it out and be like perfect.
And you win an award.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be quite like that.
No.
But I think it is going to, again, like you said, people who are new, who feel like, I don't know if I could do these 3 or 4 different steps. You only have to do 1 and get the feel of that.
And the time.
And the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I've got a good friend. His name is Sam Lenz, and he's a pro painter. And they flew him over. GW flew him over along with about maybe a dozen other people over in the beginning part of the year to check out the paints and all that kind of stuff. And this past weekend, I had a little mini convention back home, and he was there, and he was painting Zombicide miniatures. Because he loves Zombicide, and he loves what's the other one? The Song Ice and Fire. Those are like his 2 favorite games right now. But Zombicide, being a board game and having a lot of zombies in it, he was just using one of the green colors and just going through, and you could just do the skin once and let it, and it's good. I mean,
really?
You don't have to do like highlighting and shading and all that stuff. You just kind of do the green, let it dry. And then once the green is done, you can go back and do some cloaks and the rags and stuff that hang off the zombies. And then now there's like metallics. You're still going to want to use a normal metallic paint. You want to probably do that at the end. And you also, because the paint is kind of transparent, you do have to prime it in a certain way. Like you don't want to use a super dark color. If you prime it black and then put this stuff over, it won't work.
Okay.
Generally. But if you use the colors that they use, they've got a light color, kind of light gray, and a light tan. Those are the two main primers they use. But I've seen lots of people who are using straight white primers.
Yeah.
I've seen people using metallic primers and then putting the color over to make it like a metallic candy, sort of like, you know, like, oh yeah, I've seen some really interesting stuff. People are really starting to like, even though it just came out literally, what's today, Sunday? It came out
So
yesterday.
experimenting with different ways of using it. Yeah.
Absolutely, which makes a lot of sense. And because I think it's not one of those things where you're just going to do it and leave it that way. You're going to find ways to add it into, if you're already painting, you're going to find ways to add it into your kind of structure and your paint schemes. But if you're brand new, it is a really easy way to get like a whole bunch of models, specifically when you get a whole bunch of models in games like Zombicide or Shadows over Brimstone or that kind of stuff to really get those kind of cranked through quickly.
Are people going to be able to go to your channel and maybe hear you talk about it a little bit in the future? Or do some
Yeah,
work
I
with it?
would have loved to have had a video about it sooner, but I just got the stuff on Saturday, and then a couple days later, then I was flying here, and so but I have watched up close Sam do stuff with it and everything like that, and of course we've all seen a lot of videos and whatnot, or at least that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to be doing some of that kind of stuff. I want to actually talk about using it on some other types of models, like Stormtroopers. I think you can crank through Stormtroopers like in Imperial Assault or Star Wars Legion really quickly with some of the colors from that.
That does make sense.
Awesome.
Wow, you know a lot about paint.
I do.
So let's find out just how much you do know about paint in a segment that we're going to call Paints and Dyes, Truth and Lies. So here's what I've done. All week we've been doing little quizzes and whatnot with Marty.
Yep.
And so we came up with one for you. I have gone through the Games Workshop paint catalog.
Okay.
And I found they have some very, very interesting paint names.
Yes, they do.
All right. So I've wanted to find out just how much of an expert you are on Games Workshop paint names.
All right.
So what I have developed is, I'm also just curious how well you know the Beastie Boys, because I've taken all of these two-word Games Workshop. It makes sense.
Okay.
Just roll with it.
right.
I've taken a series of two-word Games Workshop paint names, and a series of two-word Beastie Boys song titles. Scrambled up the words in alphabetical order. And all you have to do is unscramble them and tell me the Games Workshop paint name and the Beastie Boys song title. Okay?
Okay.
What are we playing for, though?
No, we've been doing that all week. We're just playing this one for fun. Okay?
Sunday.
No.
Sunday.
I think we should raise the stakes a little bit here. I think if Uncle Adam can get all of them correct, you should have to take another hit off that hot sauce. They've been doing a hot sauce gag all week. I think you should have to take another. If he gets them all right, not you don't get them all right, nothing on you, but I think Chaz should have to.
Marty took all the hot sauces home with him anyway. So
actually, he left me with one.
Of course he did.
The hottest one.
Of course it is.
Thanks, Marty.
Okay, fine.
4 million.
So you're telling me if he gets all of them right, he has to get 100%?
I believe in you, Uncle Adam. Please get all of them right.
Thanks, Marty. I really appreciate it. All right, fine. Okay. Now, I am not sure if we're going to have the titles going across the bottom of the screen, but I will read them out slowly.
I think we will.
Okay, good. All right. So here is your first one.
All right.
Unscramble this.
Okay.
2 words each.
Gotcha.
Okay. Booty, gold, liberator, professors. I'll read that again.
Okay.
Booty, gold, liberator, professors.
I have a guess on booty.
You want to know the paint name or the
song
or
give me
both?
paint name first.
Okay, paint name first is Liberator Gold.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And Professor Booty, I think, is the name of the song.
All right, let's check the that. Yep, Liberator Gold is the paint name.
Job.
Professor's Booty is the Beastie Boys.
Indeed.
I believe off of Check Your Head.
Start shaking this up.
Okay. Now, they do progressively get more difficult. I hope.
Sure.
I really hope. All right, number 2, brass, donkey, funky scorpion. Once again, brass, donkey, funky scorpion.
I want these all to be paint names.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm starting a paint line now, and I think we're going to work together on this. It makes a lot of sense, really. Yeah. I'm going to say Brass Scorpion. I'm pretty sure is the name of the... Because I know there's Brass Monkey, which is the name of a song from Games Workshop. Yeah,
Maybe you listen to that album too.
By Beastie Boys. I'm pretty because I don't think that Scorpion Donkey or Funky Scorpion are paint names that I've come across. I'm pretty sure, and I know there's a
You'd
brass
remember it,
scorpion.
too.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
There's a brass scorpion in the Forge World line. It's a chaos war creature beast robot. I'm gonna say probably brass scorpion.
All right.
Because the other ones don't make any sense.
All right. And then the song title would be?
Funky Donkey. I don't know. I can't say I've seen that one.
Shake Up the Bottle.
Ah, yes.
That is Brass
what we're talking
Scorpion,
about.
Funky Donkey.
Did I get it right?
Yes, you
Yes,
did.
you did.
And
Shaking up the bottle. If I
For
get them all right.
jazz.
if you get them all right, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So,
I thought if I didn't get them all right.
No. No, you want to do, yeah, you want to
I
get,
can throw it if you don't want to. I mean,
Don't throw it.
keep that in mind. Ironically enough, I believe Funky Donkey is off their last album, Hot Sauce Committee Part 2. So that all works together.
So, yeah.
Number 3 is Blue Nun Scar White. Blue Nun Scar White.
Come on, you can do this.
Don't
You know this
encourage
one.
him.
If you need to phone a friend.
No. I mean, I'm 98% sure, but honestly, at this point, it's the Beastie Boys aspect of it that's throwing me off.
I was hoping so.
well done.
I was hoping you were going to say, "Oh, that's my favorite band."
Oh yeah, it's just but I'm 98% sure the paint name is Scar White.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you absolutely sure?
I am 98% sure.
All right.
But that is my final answer.
Yeah.
Okay, Scar White.
Yep.
Okay, and then the song title would be.
I'm assuming Blue Nun.
All right. I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh, it's Scar, White Scar.
White
Correct.
Scar.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
if it was French or Spanish, it would be Scar White because the noun and adjective
And I
would be.
took 2 years of French in high school.
Oh, there you go.
So
It's
there you go,
your
yeah.
influence.
Yeah,
So yes,
yeah.
White Scar and Blue Nun.
Yep.
All right. Next one, number 4. Children, Egg, Emperor's Man.
Now, this one's easy because I know both the song and the paint.
Oh, nice.
So that is Emperor's Children, and then Eggman is the song. So
Do we have any napkins for the beads of sweat?
Yeah, you nailed that one. Yes, Emperor's Children and Eggman. All right, let's continue on then to number
One more?
5.
Oh, number 5?
They do. That was number 4.
Yeah.
They get hopefully more. Oh wait, don't look.
Okay.
I'm going the wrong way.
yep.
Boop, boop. All right, Dawn Fight Riot Stone. I'm going to start like mixing them together. Dawn
Yeah.
Fight Riot Stone.
I'm
Yep.
impressed with how many of these I think I know.
Me
Yeah.
too. Wait, the Beastie Boys songs?
No, more the, what's paints?
The paint is Dawnstone.
Okay.
The song is I'm not as familiar with. I'm gonna say probably Riot Fight.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah,
Dawn
right on.
Stone.
Dawnstone. I use that color all the time. That's
Yeah.
a great dry brush color.
It is.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, that's right. Fine. Number 6.
Okay.
I believe there are 7 total.
Okay.
So I got 2 more chances here.
All right.
Electric Screaming Skullworm. Once again,
Good band name.
yes, Electric Screaming Skullworm.
I think I've got their T-shirt actually.
No.
The color is Screaming Skull.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that the song is called Electric Worm.
Yes,
There you
you
go.
are
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
I believe that's off The Mix Up, which was one of their instrumental jazzy albums, which is actually really, really good. So yes, Screaming Skull and Electric Worm.
Right.
All right. Number 7, our last clue
Just,
is Dark Death Instant Reaper. Dark Death Instant Reaper.
this is a
Let's see here.
I know.
Let's see.
I'm very.
I'm starting to feel bad now.
You don't have to serve it up for
Oh,
me.
I'm going to serve that for you.
I'm gonna say Dark Reaper is the color, I think, and then Instant Death is the song.
Yes,
There we go. There
Dark
we go.
Reaper and Instant Death, which was off Hello Nasty.
Gotcha.
Games Workshop paint knowledge, just how the naming works does you a lot.
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah.
so earnestly evil. You just go for like the darkest thing
Like
in
I
there.
can't remember what Dark Reaper, what that color looks like.
it has
I've
to
got some
be.
ideas. It's not bright pink, I'm sure. Yeah. I get a feel it's almost probably maybe a dark green, maybe, but I'm not sure.
It's
yeah.
no Electric Worm.
That's true. That's
Well,
true.
All right.
I thought that was a great quiz. You came up with this idea too, didn't you?
Yes, I
Very
did.
good. Very good.
I,
I have a little present for you. Well done, Uncle Adam.
all right.
Well done, everybody.
I'm going to take a spoon here. It has been a pleasure speaking
Knowing
with you.
you?
Absolutely.
Knowing you, yes.
Yeah.
I wish I could say the same for you, Rodney. And Marty, thank
Here's
you
to
so
you, buddy.
Here's to you, buddy. Safe travels home. I will be right back with Queen. Oh my! It gets hotter every day. We'll
be right back with more previews coming from Origins 2019. Thanks for joining us.
Queen Games is up next. It gets hotter every day.
Thanks, Uncle Adam.
Great, thank you.
He muted me.
Couldn't hear you. Couldn't hear you.
Oh, phew. I thought I was dead. It could have happened.
Push it up for 1 second.
There you go. Scoot your chair a little to the right. Make sure you're on camera here.
Stuck in the...
Yeah, the foam is nice and grippy. I think that's yours. There we go.
think we should grab one of the used score sheets and show what they look like.
Yeah, that'd be good. On the I like it. Right in front of you. Well, there is no box.
Oh, this is
It's a prototype.
Gotcha. Here's one that's not bad.
Oh, a nice dark. Yeah. All right, we'll keep this off to the side here. It's off to the, keep it off on the side. Nope. Okay. You can bring it on when you're ready. Looks really high up. Seems like it should be zoomed in more. Criticism. Yeah, it looks, there's a lot of emptiness around us.
Yeah, there is. Vast emptiness. That's going to be the problem, I think. Because you know this thing is.
Okay.
How do you like that? How's that feel to you?
I like them apples.
I like it. You want more down? Or? Yeah. How's that?
think it comes.
Are you
Oh, actually, here we go.
like, I do not know what Twitch icon looks like. Oh,
Parked it at the bottom, but
I assume so.
so it should log in as me. Oh, shut the Wi-Fi off.
Now you gotta find it. My computer keeps forgetting Geek Gear.
Well, here, I'm gonna
All right.
put this, and then it'll just appear.
Okay. You're good.
They're so much bigger. They're very close. They're close to the camera.
Yep. We're good. Cue music. Hi, this is Eric Martin, Report Game Geek. I'm here with Travis Reynolds from Queen Games. We are not looking at Copenhagen, which we've seen before, which is hitting stores in the U.S.
Yeah, this summer.
this summer, out in Europe already. But we were looking at the Copenhagen Roll and Write game, also by Asger Granerud and Daniel Peterson. So maybe take it away and
So this
show
is
what
the
we're doing
Copenhagen
here.
Roll and Write. It's going to be an Essen release, and let's talk about it, right? So this
Yes.
is a dice game,
Mm-hmm.
and the method of playing is we're going to be the start player. We're going to roll the dice, and the start player is looking for sets of dice. So, for example, there I've rolled 3 yellow, and the gray die is a wild die.
Okay.
So I'm going to choose a set of all matching dice. I would probably choose that because it's a good roll. So I can use that to buy a tile, just like in Copenhagen. I'm going to buy a polyomino tile, and I'm going to write it onto my facade on the front of my house, like in Copenhagen.
Okay.
After I choose those, all of the other players